said, today we're going to talk about my brother Jasper. He said I ought to tell something on him, but make sure it was the truth. One time we had an old car, you know, and he never would let me drive it much. And he took, and I love to hear the tires scream. When I go down the curb, I'd like to hear them scream like everything. They won't do that now. These tires are different. Now they won't scream like that. Anyway, he was over in Kentucky working, and I had the car there taking my mother and daddy to stolen places. I went up there to the Cumberland Bowl Park in Virginia, and I went around. It was a circle. You go around by the swimming pool. I made about 3 trips around through there, about 70, 80 miles an hour, just to hear them tires scream. Oh, they'd scream, they wouldn't quit screaming because he's continually going in a circle. Well, I said, now the police will be up here in a minute, and I better get the hell out of here. So I went out, and just as I went out of the park, I met the police coming in. Back then, he's driving an old 59 Ford. I knowed him. And next day or two, I took my daddy to town. I forgot about it. The mayor come up there. We sat in the car at Winters. Then I took him to the drugstore. The mayor come up and said, Mr. Holmes, said this vehicle went around that swimming pool 3 times and said, like to turned over, and said them wheels was a-screaming, said it sounded like an accident about to happen. He said, I don't know who's driving it now. I said, he said, it was this vehicle. I sat there under the wheel of it, driving it down. I said, Jasper's the one done it. Jasper done it. That's my brother, you know. So we left and went on. We was going down the road, and the old man was studying. He didn't say a word. He just studied. He said, hell, you told a damn lie. I said, Jasper didn't do that. Said he's been across the state line over in Kentucky working for a week. Said, that was you. I said, I know. I drove him across the state line where they couldn't arrest him. He said, oh, well, then. He said, yeah, I said, they can't arrest him over there. I said, that's all right, then. He never did mention it to me no more. One time, my brother Jasper, he's a little boy, and him and my sister done a yard job for this woman. And we had never had no money. She paid him a big double handful of money, you know. She told him, said, go home, change. It was nickels and dimes and pennies. She said, go home and lay it out on the table and divide it. Well, they went to dividing it, and my brother's pretty sharp, you know. She said, 2 nickels for me and a dime for you. 2 nickels for me and a dime. He jumped up and said, you cheating me. He said, I want that big money. She said, okay. So she says, a nickel for you and a dime for me. A nickel for you and a dime for me. He got his money and stuck it in his pocket, run out the door and come back in, stuck his head in the door and said, I got the big money, and laughed. But he was about half. Well, I won't say it's crazy, but we started to be in her one time to take the backer off. We got the truck going about up through there, and it's loaded down with tobacco on it. If you know Lake County, you can't. It's a dry county. You can't get no liquor nowhere except in Ben Hur. Every time anybody come into Ben Hur, everybody got happy, and they'd roll the windows down, and they'd say, Ben Hur, Ben Hur, Ben Hur. So all 3 of us would holler. One of the holler, doesn't holler, doesn't holler. We holler 4 or 5 times before we get through there. Well, there's some woman walking along the road there, and I'm paraphrasing now. She throwed us the bad sign. Oh. So my brother, he turned red in the face. It scared him. He threw that truck up in 2nd gear and floorboarded it. And old man said, go back, go back. About that time, my muffler busted. It sounded like a 12-gauge shotgun go off. We went on up there and got rid of the backer. We come back. The old man said, or my brother, Jasper, said, old man, said, I know you got some money where you sold that backer. Said, stop down here and get us some good liquor. And he said, let's don't and say we did. Well, we got down there a little closer to town. He said, old man, said, stop here and get us some good liquor. He said, let's don't and say we did. Well, we got right in town. I said, I got to do something. So he said, my brother said, stop down here and get us some good liquor. And I said right quick before the old man could say anything, I said, let's do and say we don't. We didn't. I said, let's do and say we didn't. So we stopped there, and they let me have a half a pint because I was the smallest. I was 15, and my brother, he could get a full pint, and my daddy could get a fifth. And it was illegal, you know. But they had a beer joint there, but you had to go in behind it to get the liquor. Well, my brother said, let's stop out here and get some shotgun shells. And the old man said, I got shotgun shells. And Jasper said, yeah, you got shotgun shells, and that's all you got. Said somebody took the powder out of them. Well, he said, well, stop here, and said, I'll get some. You could buy them back in 2 or 3 at a time. You didn't have to buy a whole box. We got them. We went home, and he told my mother, said, if I find out which one of them damn young'uns is taking the powder out of my shotgun shell, said, I'm going to give them a damn whooping. She said, well, you learn it to them. Well, I guess I better end this show. I've got to get up early in the morning and go over to the Cumberland College. They want me to speak over there to the children about honesty and truth and everything, and they thought I'd be a good influence on them, so I'll talk to you all next time.